Topic selection and literature review. I initially chose the data source entitled Data Release for the BOEM USGS Study of the Regional Importance of Man-Made Structures as Rockfish Nurseries in the Santa Barbara Channel. This study focused on data related to man-made rockfish nurseries and the importance of understanding the significance of man-made structures like decommissioned oil rigs that work as cover for newborn species like rockfish. I find this topic interesting as I've spent the last several weeks researching the role that mangroves play in preserving biodiversity, and this is a study that looks to do the same thing for species of another ecosystem. While mangroves do more than just work as a nursery, I found the delicate balance of the mangroves both terrifying and interesting. But I definitely took a left turn at this point to focus on the molting process of northern shrimp and how it is affected by temperature. I have been obsessing over shrimp aquaculture as of late, and that definitely influenced me. Summary of data using descriptive statistics and graphs. My research question asks, what role does water temperature play in the molting process of shrimp? There are many variables that affect the molting process of shrimp, like species, temperature, water quality, molting hormones, feed, and stress levels. This question in particular was taken from a study done of northern shrimp, done with juveniles, adult males, and adult females. And we are looking for how temperature in particular affects them. So my variables here are life stage, temperature, and species. The study I chose looked at 173 subjects that molted at temperatures of 2 degrees Celsius, 5 degrees Celsius, and 8 degrees Celsius. Confidence intervals and interpretations. Here we see that we look at the count of 173 individuals with a confidence interval of 95% and a level of significance of 0.05. We get to a mean of 71 days, a standard deviation of 32.18, and a standard error of 4.18. My T-critical score was negative 0.0005. My lower limit was 22 days, and my upper limit was 120. My interpretation of these confidence interval is that there's a 95% chance that true mean time to shed for a northern shrimp is 71 days. The level of significance means that there's only a 5% chance that the true mean time to shed lies outside of the 95% confidence interval. My research question asked, what role does water temperature play in the molting process of shrimp? I looked at 3 stages of development at 3 different temperatures and looked for a total mean days to molt, so it's a single set of data. What I found was that I can state that the mean time to molt is 71 days. Hypothesis test and conclusion. My null hypothesis is that there is no difference in the mean molting time between shrimp raised at different temperatures, 2 degrees, 5 degrees, and 8 degrees Celsius at least. My alternative hypothesis is that there is a difference in the mean molting time between at least 2 of the temperature conditions described in my research question. My test statistic is 2.306, and the p-value is 0.05. I would not reject the null hypothesis, as my p-value is 0.05. Since my p-value is exactly that of my level of significance, then some would choose to reject the null hypothesis, but one could just as easily not reject it. It is believed that one should err on the side of not rejecting the null hypothesis in this case, so that is what I chose. In conclusion, my research question asks if there is a significant difference between the molting times of shrimp raised at these temperatures. Of the 173 subjects observed, the mean molting time is 77.67 days. This has a standard deviation of 27.88 days and a standard error of 9.29 days. This data was found using a 95% confidence interval and a level of significance of 0.05. I used a two-tail hypothesis test and found a t-critical of 2.306. My proposed population mean is 75 days, and my t-statistic is 0.8260 with a p-value of 0.05.